Hello everyone, thank you so much for taking the chance to watch this short video about myself. Well, first of all, I want to say my name is Jairo Mercado. People call me Jairo, which is, I don't know, easier for you, but you can call me whatever you want to do it. I've been doing real estate for over 7 years. I started from the scratch doing cold calling, and I was, doing great job, and I was able to generate good leads and quality people that they want to sell properties on the market and or off the market, of course. So I started digging into more about real estate because I want to become an acquisitions manager. So I got the chance to be trained by Joe Martinez in 2018. So I remember that I was, no clue about how to comparable properties. I didn't have any clue about how to build rapport with people. So I learned how to do that by digging more information and learning more people skills, how to speak with, how to make the tonality what people are talking to, how to make the efficiency by doing mirroring, which is amazing how you can get the relationship built. So I've been doing a lot of stuff just to get my building rapport in a better level, just to get people into the closing table, right? So I started doing acquisitions back in 2018. I learned how to comparable properties. I was having a little bit issues how to get the properties, sign the contract, which is the next level that you gotta be on top, because sometimes you can make the offer properly, but at the same time you can have some issues by putting under contract the property. Otherwise, there's not gonna happen the closing. So I was, a little confused about the terminology that you should use, and I was able to learn a little bit more, and I became efficient how to explain how the contract looks like and make the people feel comfortable by signing the contract and not reading it as a difficult terminology. So we explain to them that it is just a third grade terminology contract, which is going to be easier for them just to get it signed. So they don't need to look up for any attorney to check this contract, and we don't waste time to get it signed. So there are 1,000 rebuttals that I've been able to overcome. And it's something that I like to highlight because people just say I got a lot of properties under contract, but what was the story behind it? How you were able to overcome the objection that these people were having to be able to get the sale done, right? So I was trained by Eric Klein a couple years ago. I was doing the 5 weeks of training of sell, how to perform in a better sense, how to pretty much make an offer, how you pitch it, also how you find facts, which is the most important thing in every sale. Even though you do it in real estate, solar panels, or collections, you gotta find the facts, why people are selling or why people are not paying, right? So it's just something that I've been going through myself just to make myself better. So, but I started from the scratch. I've been able to get a lot of properties on the contract with different stories, like people didn't have any wills, but we were able to find the probation process. People that they didn't have any documentation on the property, but they assumed that they were the owners. So we went to the county records, going through a lot of stuff, just to get the deal done. Of course, I've been in situations like people, they were selling their house fully destroyed, turndowns, how you can build that relationship to explain them that pretty much the house is worth just the land value. Really tough because people expect to get the most that they can get out of it, but you gotta be on top of the deals all the time and explain with soft words to make them feel happy what they're doing on this story. So I believe in real estate is about manifesting. So if you write down every lead that you're talking and you believe this deal is gonna happen, so always assume the close. Something that it helped me to get a lot of deals on the contract and also closing them, because sometimes you just get on the contract but you don't find buyers. So I've been into acquisition and disposition by getting a lot of properties on the contract and also finding the buyers myself. But of course, I need the tools like MLS Access, Skip Tracer, just to get the phone numbers and call it then and make that sell happens. Like explaining, hey, you know what? This property is about $80,000 on equity you can make from it if you buy it from me. Just make them feel that they're gonna make money by buying our property, right? That's pretty much wholesaling, man. So, and I remember, back in the day, it was initially I was having issues by building rapport efficient, but then I become an expert by asking the proper question. What made them decide to sell the property? For how long have you been thinking about selling this property? What made you consider letting this property go? And what would be your next step if you sell this property? Is it lined up already? You're moving, you already have a property to move in if you sell this property. What happened with the tenants? Are they aware they are selling the properties? Are you planning to sell the property because of the tenant situation, or is it because you don't want to be a landlord anymore? You gotta dig and find out the fine facts, because sometimes just telling you, I want to sell because I'm a tired landlord, that's just the I would say the top of the iceberg. But you gotta go down to find out the facts and being able to build a relationship. So I make people write down my name when I call them, because I want to make them recall my name. So whenever they call me, they say my name, and also they recall when I make the offer. Write down my offers all the time. That way they recall my name. So when they say, you know what, I got offers, can you explain that offer to me? Like, what is it? What is the terminology there? They start saying, like, you know what, I got an offer for 250. I didn't ask you how much they offer you. I asked you, can you explain me what the offer is? That they tell you if they're buying the property in cash, if they're paying you the closing costs, how long would it take for them to close? That's what I'm asking you. Not in that way. I'm just trying to tell you what I ask, just to dig more into why they haven't taken that offer, and why they could take mine, because that's the way to build a relationship. So real estate is about how you build a relationship, because there are 1,000 wholesalers calling the same people. How would you make the difference? By building a relationship. Make them feel like you're human beings. Talking about kids, talking about parents, talking about, knowledge that you share with them, or experiences that you have in the past. So it's about that. I believe in real estate is about also go straight and go extra mile. And remember that always you can face a lot of stuff. So be ready and be on top of the game, because you can face any circumstances in the future with real estate. So you got to be on top of that. By calculating ARV is super easy. You can do it by square footage, by getting to 3 properties that have sold in the past 60 days. When you get that, pretty much you just add all the 3 properties up, you split the 3, and then you got the ARV by the value. But you can actually go deeper. If you want to get it by a square footage, you add the value of the square footage sold up, and then you split it in between 3, and you get the value by square footage. You multiply that value to the square footage of the house that we are selling, and there you go, the ARV. That's pretty much what I have when it comes to about real estate. I've been doing Dispo, acquisition. I can tell you that I can close deals by point A to point B. I'm aiming to become acquisition. I can do Dispo sometimes just to help you out, but my goal is to be the best acquisition ever and get any property in the contract, because anything can be sold, man, as long as you get a good price on it. Well, I really appreciated the time that you watched this video. Hopefully it makes sense for you, for your company, that in the future you can hire me and have a good value, because I can be a good asset for you, and you can be a good asset for me as well. Because at the end of the day, if we help each other, we can make a lot of money on this business. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.